Those images, though, really show how close the water was getting.
Yeah, and it's pretty widespread, the flooding. It's fairly minor in most locations, but it's still impactful, as you can see. You know what we haven't seen is the video of the salmon swimming up a street, like we've seen in other events like this, right?
Yeah.
It's usually up around Shelton, Washington or somewhere, but maybe that'll surface tomorrow. Let's take you up to Timberline, where it is windy, it is wet, and it's not snowing. Look at that. That's pathetic, Christine. It's 44 degrees. I know, that's not what we want to see. If this was, 20 degrees colder, we'd have feet of snow up there, but we don't. Winds are gusting at 40 miles an hour right now up at Timberline. Let's check out some of the rainfall totals we've had. South side of Mount St. Helens, over 13 inches of rain now. Wow, that area usually gets hammered with an event like this because the winds are out of the south and southwest, and so you get uplift off the volcano and it just dumps. Skamania County, there's a spot in the Western Gorge, over 10 inches of rain. That's at 3,500 feet. In the Bull Run watershed, over a foot of rain. Jewel, nearly 10 inches of rain now. And Mount Hood, 5,400 foot level, 8.44 inches of rain. For Portland, we're up to 1.63 inches. Last I checked about 20 minutes ago. It hasn't ramped up that much this evening, to be honest, but that is a record for the date. For KGW, we're shy of the record, 1.95 inches I measured on the roof. The record is over 2 inches back in 2010, but Salem has a new record with 1.74 inches of rain. However, the rain is really backed off in the Portland area. You see, there's areas when it's not raining at all, and then some light rain or some mist will move on through. But the heavy rain has shifted north into Washington. The rivers, there are still some that are flooding, like this one. This is the Cowlitz River, which is just barely in minor flood stage, and many of these have dropped dramatically. We no longer have a flood warning up for Johnson Creek, which is great, but we do for the Pudding River. This thing drains really slowly because it doesn't have much flow. It's actually an old channel, an ancient channel of the Willamette River, and now it's just its own little river. That's going to be in flood stage until Saturday because of that slow draining nature of it. And then some of the rivers at the coast, like the Nehalem, the Trask, and the Wilson, still under flood stage. But again, they're dropping rapidly. This should be below flood stage by tomorrow afternoon, and I think several of the rivers will be. I think one of the biggest concerns for tomorrow isn't really the additional rainfall, it's the wind. We have a wind advisory up for all of western Oregon, as you can see here, and a good part of eastern Oregon and the Columbia Basin too. And if you look at the hour-by-hour wind gust forecast, it's only between about 25 and 30 miles an hour. Normally values like this, not enough to prompt a wind advisory, but because the soil is so oversaturated, any extra force working on the trees can help bring them down. So we're keeping the wind advisory going for that reason. Now, you can see the moisture is lifted north. The atmospheric river still aimed at western Washington, where it'll stay and then dissipate. Look at the water vapor imagery, the whites and the greens indicating just how juiced up the atmosphere is. So they're still going to get heavy rain, but look at our rainfall forecast. We only get, a few hundredths, really. This is by 2 o'clock, hardly any additional rainfall here in Oregon. We can certainly handle that. The rivers will be able to recede, but to the north, still some very, very heavy amounts, especially up in the Cascades. Now, when we look at the jet stream forecast, high pressure, warm air, but towards about Tuesday, Wednesday next week, we may get a little bit of snow in the Cascades. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. We hit 58 today in Portland, and that's what it is outside right now. The hot spot, Pendleton, second day in a row, 62. There's that flag blowing with that south wind, 58 degrees, and the freezing level at 9,900 feet. Not what we want to see. Light rain, breezy overnight, showers on and off tomorrow, but there will be dry time throughout the day. High of about 61, 58 on Thursday. Friday, fog to sun. Saturday, fog to sun. And then we'll see showers again on Monday and Tuesday. But the worst of the rain is behind us, Christine.
I like to hear that. Thank you, Matt.